I saw the musical Cats for the first time when I was about 10, and I loved it. I want to talk about this musical. It's the first mega musical that was ever made, and it's fascinating that it's all about cats. So I hope you'll enjoy investigating theater. Cats is the first mega musical ever. It was written by Angela Weber using T.S. Eliot's poems from the Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. It opened on May 11th, 1981, and was a huge success, despite some investors believing that it was not going to be a huge success because it was all about cats. The most memorable song from the musical is, of course, Memory, originally sung by Elaine Paige. Judi Dench was supposed to originally play the role of Grisabella, but she had to bow out due to an injury. The musical tells the story of a group of jellicle cats who gather to see which one of them will go to the Heaviside Lair, their version of heaven. As of 2022, it's the 5th longest running show on Broadway, playing for 18 years, and the 7th longest running show in the West End, playing for 21 years. Weber began setting T.S. Eliot's poems to music as early as 1977, and the songs were first shown as a song cycle in the summer of 1980 at the Sidmonton Festival. The concert was performed by Gemma Craven, Gary Bond, and Paul Nicholas. Richard Stilgoe, who later also wrote the lyrics for Phantom and Starlight Express, and Trevor Nunn, who directed Cats originally, and later directed Les Mis, Starlight Express, Chess, and A Little Night Music, were brought on as additional lyricists. The chosen choreographer was Gillian Lane, who had an extremely difficult job of creating dances for each piece. The original producer was Cameron McIntosh, who would later produce Les Mis, Phantom, Miss Saigon, Mary Poppins, Oliver, and even Hamilton. Before Cats, all these men were relatively unknown, and the show let them go on to create other bigger shows. Cats went on to win Best Musical at both the Laurence Olivier and Tony Awards, and eventually grossed $3.5 billion as of 2012. This is how they divide history: BC, before Cats, and AD, Andrew Dominant, meaning Angela Weber. This is said by Mark Stein on the history of musical theater. Despite the original 1982 production getting mixed reviews, the critics all agree that the show is, quote, innovative and visually spectacular in ways Broadway had never seen before. Cats, quote, establishes musical theater as a global commodity. Quote, it led to the shift in Broadway markets toward big-budget blockbusters and shows with appeal to families and tourists. It, quote, ushered in the golden age of British musicals, which includes Phantom, Miss Saigon, and Les Mis. Musical theater historian Vangelis Psaropoulos asserted that in terms of impact, the seminal Broadway opening of Cats was, quote, comparable only to Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma 39 years ago. Psaropoulos explained, Cats is considered the quintessential mega musical because it reconceived, like no other show before, theatrical space as an immense effective encompasser that transforms the viewing experience into a hypercharged thrill ride, and the spectator into an explorer of new and challenging aural and visual sensations. Its unprecedented success paved the way for even bolder hyperspatial configurations, made the set designer a proper environment builder, and raised light and sound design into the status of art in its own right. It also paved the way for the constant revolutionization of stage technology. Cats is the first show to use the Cat's Eye logo as its brand. This logo, quote, is the first globally marketed logo in musical theater history. Later, Phantom used the mask as its logo, and Les Mis used Cosette as the waif as their logo, and these were inspired by the original Cats logo. Cats was also the first Broadway and West End musical to sell souvenirs to tourists and families. In fact, the Cats t-shirt with the logo is the second best-selling t-shirt in the world, the first being the Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt. Beyond this, Cats was one of the first musicals to brand the show for tourists and families. Composer Joe Raposo said in 1986 that, quote, "Cats is a wonderful proof of what an audience is out there, untapped. People do want a theatrical experience for their children." I first saw Cats when I was probably 10. I saw it at my mom's house in Nashville with my cousin and my twin sister. We were sitting on the fold-out couch, and we watched it for the first time, and I was blown away. Especially the song Jellicle Cats, the dance number in between the musical is so great. The music is really catchy. I'm not a dancer, so I could never ever dance like the Cats, the people in Cats. I'd love to be in Cats, but I don't think I could ever actually do it. I just loved it. I love Cats. I think it's a brilliant musical. It's incredible that they wrote a musical about cats, of all things, and it sold millions and millions and millions of tickets. And it's still playing all around the world. As everyone knows, a 2019 movie was made and it was totally bombed. It totally bombed. I've seen clips of it and I don't ever want to see that movie because it's horrible. But I did see I think it was the 1986 original movie. There was a direct-to-video release. It was so good. That's what I saw when I was 10. But it's such a good musical. And I think everyone should see it.